We're live. I'm so excited. Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone had a great week. Did I miss a week? I think I missed last week, but that's okay. We're back. We're back this week. So welcome, everyone. We're here for another week. This is episode 19. I'm so excited. 19. I'm almost to 20. I'm starting to feel like a little bit of a pro here. It's very exciting, though. So welcome to the show. I hope everyone is well and comfy and settled in. We're here for another episode and a new topic and a new conversation to break stigmas. So lots of good stuff. Please check the closed captioning. If I haven't, I might have to check that. We're going to get that taken care of. I just want to make sure everybody's doing well and check my Twitch page. If anyone is watching on Twitch, check all the panels. I want to get my Twitch action happy. I want some new emotes. I got some new commands. I'm going to be using the Streamlabs bot here soon. I might need to have a gaming sesh on Twitch only. So we'll see what happens. But I do appreciate everyone that came in this week. And please drop some love in the chat. I always ask that. Show some love to each other. Support each other. Welcome to my stream, cats. I'm DJ. I'm your host. I have a little bit of a new setup. So I might be a little bit off, but that's okay. I'm excited for tonight's episode. It's a really great, powerful one and really close and near to my heart. We're here every Monday night on this platform. It's to empower individuals to come and share their powerful stories. We want to destigmatize, normalize mental health, disability, and trauma. It's a place to share our mayhem. We want to create opportunities, connect, and be a voice to break stigmas. I always add my trigger warning, and I encourage to use discretion as we can talk about things that may be difficult and mature in nature. And I want to add that solely our opinions. So big thank you to StreamYard, always powering my show. I appreciate anyone that's new to the Twitch. Please throw me a follow if you haven't. Subscribe. Thank you for the affiliate status, Twitch. I love Twitch. Thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate the support there. Please subscribe. And LinkedIn. Connect with me. I love my LinkedIn folks. My LinkedIn folks. So wherever you're checking in from, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. If anyone needs assistance, please reach out. I'm on LinkedIn. So everyone, I hope everyone's doing good. We're going to get here to the chat in a second. I want to get to this conversation. Now, this is where I get confused. I'm like, do I go to the chat first? Do I go to my guest first? And I see like the chat is going, but I want to bring my guest because that's always fun to do this with the guest. This is part of the fun. So I'm going to introduce my guest. Chat, give me just a couple more seconds. Let's get to it. All right, let's get my wonderful new friend, Vincent Lanci. He is amazing. He has a passion to help others. He has a powerful story, as all my guests do. I really appreciate their stories and their experiences that they share. He suffered a traumatic brain injury after being a victim of a hit and run accident while he was walking. He woke up in a coma and he never looked back since after that. You know, of course, there was speculation whether he would make it through that night. He did remain alive and he was just concerned, whether he'd be able to go to the bathroom again, walk, talk, and just learn to live again properly. So after he battled through therapies, he adapted, he's learned what it takes, and he knows that expectations are just that, what people expect. He's worked hard enough, and he wants to shatter expectations. I really love that part that he shares that with me. So he has this motto, tell me I can't and I will. That's so powerful. He's now a 3-time published author. He's a coach, speaker, and podcaster. I need to get to him. Let's bring him out. My dear friend, Vincent.
DJ, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to end my day with you. It's been a long day, and I've been looking forward to this.
Yes. Well, I'm happy to have you. So let's get to the chat. Let's warm up with the chat. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
I know you've had a busy day, so this is fun. Welcome, Adam. Welcome. Let me know if you can hear the music, chat. How are we doing, chat?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I want to hear some music. All right, James, thank you for being here. Oh, Annie, is Annie here? I can't see. So we'll see. LinkedIn user, whoever you are, thank you for being here. We appreciate the support in tonight's conversation. Thank you for the foxes. I love that. Thelma, I don't know. How's Thelma? I don't know. How's DJ? DJ's good. Thank you. Thank you for coming, James, and supporting.
Patrick Lewis. You know Pat Lewis?
I do not. Where is that? Where am I looking at?
He's 738. I'll have to connect you. Patrick
Oh,
also had a traumatic brain injury, and he's an incredible inspiration. Join my
wonderful.
show.
Great. Yeah, James, thank you for being here. Greetings, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. James P, all is well. Okay, Annie, there you are. Oh, that girlfriend. That's amazing. I appreciate all the support. Twitch is on fire. Oh, wow. Thank you, my friend. Gabe, how have you been? Long time no chat. Send me a message. Let's chat. I'm appreciating all the support. Patrick Lewis. That's a good shout out to you, my friend there, Vincent.
Yeah, he's got a couple there.
Killing it. All right, that sounds good. All right, we'll chat. Everyone's so excited. Everyone's saying hello. That's what I like. A community. We're excited for this conversation. Everyone. Jen, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for bringing your light. Thank you for bringing your...
We're popular girl, DJ.
Amazing. Oh, no. I think I'm doing good. I'm doing so good. It's Monday. We're going to start a new hot week, aren't we? Yes.
Yeah,
Shout out. Oh, yeah, we are. Jeffrey, what's up, my man? How are you? Thank you. I appreciate the support. Okay. We made it to the chat. All right. See, that was nice. Not too bad. Not too much. So, Vincent, you have such an amazing story. And you were so young when all this happened, right? I mean, you were just starting your life. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, it was something no one could really prepare for. No one can expect. We mentioned expectations. When you study for an exam, you expect to get an A. You go to the grocery store, you expect to get groceries, get in your car, go home. I started my walk home and expected to go get my dog Lincoln and go to bed. And the next thing I knew, I woke up out of a coma at Tampa General. Didn't know if I would walk or talk again, do any of these things on my own, and just found something in me, small win after small win, carrying momentum forward. And like you said, I have not looked back.
I appreciate you sharing that. That's so powerful. And that's like telling of who you are, right? And what guides you.
Yeah, it's certainly changed my perspective on life and what I was meant to do on this planet, what I was striving for after graduation, and makes you appreciate certain things a bit more.
Right, for sure. Life you don't appreciate the little things until something really makes you pay attention. And it's not a way that you want to have to learn that lesson usually, right? It's usually a very hard, difficult lesson. So,
long road that I'm still traveling.
Yeah.
There'll always be ups and downs, and just making the most of it, not letting any bit of that hold me back, but rather it propel me forward to continue to make a difference.
Absolutely. I think that's something that we both share, right? You know, trying to make a difference, really trying to make an impact, bring awareness, share a little bit of what we can, help others along the way, create awareness. So everyone's all right. I love our community. It's such a great community.
Absolutely.
Yes, keep living undeterred, Jeffrey. If you haven't connected with Jeffrey, Vincent, please connect. That's definitely worth it. Katie J, what's up, buddy? I didn't give you a direct shout out. Thank you for being here. You're always here. So, I mean, it's not a LinkedIn chat without Katie J around and giving shout outs. So James says, well said. So you broadcast now currently. So I know, like, for you public speaking, it's not anything you shy from. You do a lot.
My first speaking engagement ever was in front of 8,500 people at my graduation. I just had lunch with the board at UT, and it was this very eventful morning. And then I get in the podium, and it's just a ton of people there for a first engagement. And from that point forward, I said, all right, if I did this, then something less packed would be pretty easy. It wouldn't be too difficult. And you know, you have to overcome your fears one way or the other, and sometimes just jumping in front of the podium. I was never really scared to speak, but the nerves after all the events that had taken place leading up to that event meant it was very surreal.
Was that the first, like, big public speaking engagement then since the actual night of the hit and run?
Night. Yeah, I mean, definitely the biggest one of my life.
Did you do any public speaking, or did you have that in you before, or is that just a product of?
I was never terribly shy of public speaking. When I was a kid, I was in a community service group called Our Town 2000, where we would help community members in need in different scenarios. And one was visiting the VA hospital on Veterans Day. And my grandfather has awards for all of his hours in the VFW, family of military, and something I was very passionate about. I would speak and make him proud as a kid, but I didn't think it would really transcend into a career. That was something that just was a byproduct of turning something horrible into something okay because I could share my story and help others through it. I wanted a finance job. I wanted that great salary and that cool job title, and then I got it, and it just wasn't what I was hoping for. I wasn't as happy as I thought money would make me. So I scaled back, wrote this one. Left for Dead was number one. And it's an autobiography to introduce the world to who I am. Goes through the hospital where my mom had a journal, writing down all the crazy things I said and did with a traumatic brain injury, my day-to-day, so it could help other people in that situation in a hospital with family members in the hospital. And then I had my second book, DJ, I wrote during the pandemic, again, to help people how to transform your mindset when the norm has changed. There's a guide for working remote, as I work alone by myself for years and years, and wanted to help people stay fit and stay motivated at the same time. That's just a cheap ebook. It's like $1 on Amazon. And then my Pride and Joy. Shout out to Chris Bridge, my amazing illustrator, Dr. Denise for the intro. Mr. Lanci talks mental health. This is something I think DJ would love very much, and everybody in the mental health world. 7 days or 7 chapters to help you improve your mental health piece by piece. And I'm sure we'll delve into that a little more later.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get those links hot and ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have them in the banner. So I know. So let's see. Okay. Wow. That's your podcast. So we'll get to that too. But the books, definitely we want to talk about the books. Okay.
Wow.
I don't want to. I know you have them on your website. All right. So the link, I can drop that in the chat and it'll send individuals.
Everything's on there on the website. But right now, because of COVID and the USPS delay, I've actually removed the shop from my website because books were just taking weeks and weeks to get places with media mail and first class. So it wasn't really fair to my supporters, where if you're buying a book from me, I don't think you should be waiting for 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get it. So right now, Amazon, I promote for that. But if you do want a signed copy instead of Amazon, we can obviously work that out. And you can feel free to reach out to me after the episode. I'll teach you how to get in touch with me later.
Okay. All right. That sounds good then. Let me make sure that does not go. All right. Well, I was looking for the link, but we will definitely get that out. So whoever wants to reach out. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about what traumatic brain injuries, so we can clarify that from the beginning. I see some new individuals in the chat, so let me go ahead and say hi to the new names. I know there was a new LinkedIn user and it said hi from California, but I also saw my friend Krista in California. So I know that's not two, there's 2 chatters from California. So hello, Krista, and hello, LinkedIn user. Hey from CA. So what's up? James, thank you. I know you're a huge supporter of veterans. Me, veteran. And I know Vincent, obviously, supporting family, right? History. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Links. Yes, I know. Okay. So we got to get those links. I drive the book. So
we'll get you everything. My name right here, Vincent A. Lanci. You see my username. Just put a .com on that and you can hop around.
I have your website here too, my friend. I have the homepage. You want me to just throw the homepage up into the chat?
Yeah, for everybody that's tuning in with us, definitely reach out and tell me what you enjoyed most about my website. I work very hard to keep a lot of content on there. You'll see stuff I do feeding the homeless. I did a 7-day challenge. There's some COVID initiatives I did throughout. I think y'all enjoy very much.
Yeah, and LinkedIn, I'm coming because I know LinkedIn is always like a step behind when I'm throwing into the chat. But, feel free to share a little bit about, like overcoming the therapies and those, the parts of the symptoms you were going through and those.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The therapy, all the appointments for anyone battling any adversity, if I can recommend anything, it's don't miss an appointment. Don't miss anything. As much as you don't want to do it and you don't want to go, it will propel you and it will make it over a lot quicker. I was in denial at first because I couldn't accept that I was in the hospital because of someone I had never met and I did nothing wrong. And it was what it was. But once I accepted what happened, went to the appointments, my biggest thing at first was mood swings, very irritable. My memory, when I woke up out of a coma, the doctors asked, how old am I? What school do I go to? And I said Pulaski Road Elementary School. I didn't say the University of Tampa, where I was 21 studying finance. I said I was a 5-year-old boy in elementary school. So that's how far back I went. So I take every day as a blessing, and I look at things differently because of where I was. And I know I'm still just getting started, and I know where I want to go. It took me 6.5 years to notice a significant memory change.
Wow.
6.5 years is a long time. It was when I was writing this book. I had been so used to writing everything down 3 times in separate planners and separate notes, 5 Post-its, and then eventually something clicked, and I didn't need to write that down to remember it. It was a huge smile on my face, and just the power of believing in yourself and the power of surrounding yourself with the right people can go so far. And it sounds basic, but surrounding yourself with negativity will only put you in a negative mindset and set you back 10 steps. It's
So
not
true.
life. As you get older, you fall out with certain individuals, certain groups, and you reconnect with new people that are more like-minded and at that point of life that you're at. Like right now, DJ and I connected maybe a month or 2 ago. Her podcast is coming out on my platform, not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday, and that's just through networking, through LinkedIn. It's been incredible how many people I'm sure you've met too in this community of mental health advocacy.
Oh yeah. And there's like, it just keeps going, right? Like your community keeps building, and that's really important. That's something that I really appreciate that we do. So speaking of community, let's go back to the chat.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying hi. You have a question. We gave you the links. Chandra, thank you. Texas, she's representing Texas. I know there's some other Texas folks in here. So James, yes, Gabe, you saw that picture on Instagram, amazing. That stream deck. I know, I can't wait. I'm doing that on a game sesh on Twitch only. Like I've got all that slobs. I've been working that.
Yeah, I see here, Joe Petrone, he said, if you don't mind, Vincent, what is the shining moment that kept you going?
Yes.
I wouldn't really call it a shining moment. I'll keep it real with everyone. This is one of the defining moments of my life. When I got hit by the car, the cops had to call my family in New York. I was in Florida. Said, hey, is your son Vincent Lanci? My mother said, yes. Why are you calling me at this hour? So we can't say much on the phone, but if this is your son, you have to get down to Tampa immediately. He was involved in a hit-and-run accident and may not make it through the night. So the fact that my mother had to get that call, no parents should have to get that call. We're supposed to bury our parents, not vice versa. So the only flight they can get the next morning was to Fort Lauderdale first. So then they had to call Tampa General Hospital and ask if I was still alive before they boarded that next plane to Tampa. So having my parents had gone through all that kind of gave me a little extra motivation when I didn't feel like studying, I didn't feel like doing things. They had to go through this, not just me. And that's for any situation, no matter what you're going through. There's always someone else going through it. And it's always sometimes harder as somebody else when you see a family member in the hospital, you want to help them. They're helpless. And then it's just as hard for you as it is for them.
Yeah. Wow. And again, you're young. You're just like reaching what you're about to just start the beginning of your adult life. And you're still, to get that phone call, I couldn't imagine. So yeah, shining moment, but definitely changes the trajectory of your life and what, what you used to consider back in the day was a goal. Now really you have to reevaluate life.
I was interviewing for a market analyst role in California was my interview before I got hit, and I was going to school for finance. It was a long way from what I'm doing, but going to school for my MBA has leveraged my mindset so much into my entrepreneurial journey. I mean, I'm a solopreneur, budget's always tight. I've tried an intern a few times, accountability issues after investing so much time in getting them ready. So I take it as a sign that I got to keep working harder. My time's not here yet. I'm on my way. Big things are coming. Big collaborations are going to continue to happen.
Yes.
events and stuff for my community that I build like you. It's just we need COVID to get in all of our rear view mirrors so we can have some fun in person.
Absolutely. I'm so tired of that. Yes, absolutely. Wanna. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Vincent, she says. Vince. So, it's just like your story is definitely powerful, and it's important for people to understand like there's an awareness that really brings us closer together, right, to understand. And like now you really are sharing your story on traumatic brain injury and everything you had to go through, and now how you've overcome all those trials and all those challenges that were ahead of you. And you've really been able to, again, like what you said, shared the power of your mind and how powerful that was, especially ironically when it's a brain injury. So to have that ability to do that, not all traumatic brain injury, right, are able to do that. So you're blessed. Oh, we got that question. All right, I'm just checking. But let me see what else I was gonna say. I wanted to go into not only your books, but also your podcast, because that was something that you also do, and you put a lot of hard work, and you are able to manage not one, but 2, 3.
It's a ton of work, and it's a great learning lesson for everyone. When I first started my series, I had written this book, and then I figured, all right, what's next? I Googled top mental health influencers in the country, and I took cold shots. I've done a speech on this for Podfest. It's on my YouTube channel. You could check out later on the 4 types of networking that can help you leverage your podcast. And the first one was strategic coaches. People are so scared of no, and I was kind of scared of no when I was interning at Northwestern Mutual, cold calling no, but you have to look at no as just practice. Someone said no to you, so what? Now you're on that next call, that next email, more well-versed. So I started networking. That helped me grow my podcast because I had to start from somewhere. So I just started growing and growing. And then now these podcasts, to show you the power of just networking, I'm recorded on all 4 shows, and I'll talk about them through Labor Day. And we're at May now. And that's from people even just reaching out now, hearing my shows. But I appreciate the opportunity to talk about them because I'm always open to bringing people on like you. The one DJ joined is a mental health break. I love that show. I sit down with a different mental health advocate or professional from around the country, across the world, to share their story, to help you, the listeners, feel better about their journey, feel more confident and ready to tackle the day. I also have a show called That Entrepreneur Show, where I interview different founders of companies and brands for at least 1 year all around the world. Those 2 combined have about 11,000 listens, which is fun. And I've recently launched some YouTube shows because I was blinded by the shiny object syndrome with Instagram for so long, and that never generated any revenue for me. So I pivoted after speaking with coaches to more YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. So check out my YouTube shows. DJ will be on that one when I keep recording in the summer. One's called Vince Story Share, where we just share our story for about 10 or 15 minutes to help you, again, the listener, the viewer, overcome what they're going through, because my hometown may resonate with you, or my study at school, or my traumatic brain injury. Something can help you thrive. And then number 4 is writing with authors. You have a book, reach out to me. You have a ebook, do you have an article, do you have something you got published, reach out to me. Let's inspire some writers together.
Wow. I'm like trying to look for your links. Okay, here's one link on Buzzsprout. So I'm gonna see what I got. Links, and then we all know how social media works, friends. So we're just gonna follow the links and support Vincent. Twitter, I should have gave you a nice little tweet before this, but now I know that I need an hour of social media to get everything that right. Like
incredible community, such great interaction.
Thank you. Yes. I don't know if I gave Juana a direct shout out. Juana, I saw you. I'm there for you. I appreciate you. Maria, I saw you pop in. Thank you for popping in. Welcome always. Katie J still hanging. James still hanging. Jeffrey still hanging. Adam still hanging. So yeah, I know that, an hour can get a little bit much for people. So it's understandable that, so the support's always appreciated for anyone coming. Jeffrey, I think he echoes every no is closer to a yes. That's something that I also believe in. It's like, that's all right. I have actually like some little, motto phrase, something similar to that. You just can't accept a no and just leave it there. Like, no, that's not. You keep going. That's right. Truth. That is so truth. So, awesome show. Oh, Gabe's still here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hang in, Jen. All right. Thank you. All right. If you're listening, just ask any questions to Vincent. He seems to
I see. Adam had asked about books. Someone else had asked about a show too. If anyone has any interest in speaking about any of the shows I do to see if you're a good fit, please check me out on email, info@vincentalanci.com. That's info@vincentalanci.com. If you're a friend of GJ's, I'm sure you're a friend of mine.
Right. The links were in the post. So if you're on LinkedIn, just go up and click. There's lots of great links there too. So I think they're available. Sometimes I'm just not fast enough. So yes, I appreciate all the support. James, inspired to push harder. Right. Because walking, no lie, is a challenge. The people on LinkedIn keep me going. That is sweet. I find LinkedIn a really supportive community as well. And I find that's one where I like to lean into the most. It's professional. There's a sense of people that are driven, that have goals, that are trying to accomplish their own achievements. And hopefully you come across the right ones that want to support you in yours. So, and I think that's, us crossing paths really is a testament to that. So Matthew, hello. Huzzah. That's so nice. Jeffrey, I would be honored to have you. Yes, look at that. An open invitation. There you go.
Absolutely. We'll get you all scheduled. Please reach out to me via email. That way we can actually make it happen. I'd love to.
I don't know. Gabe's still streaming. If he'll, turn on the camera back on, he won't shy away from long. So I know him. James was here earlier, the other James. So he might. There's a few, that's great. So, and again, it's because you've come through so much and creating that understanding and creating that advocacy for mental health and what so many of us equally go through. It's not, you and not me. It's us.
Absolutely.
I think, sharing it and creating it in that way really continues to promote that accessibility and that unity and that inclusion. I think that's really, for me, something that I like to incorporate, the compassion for one another and how we can each keep motivating each other through those struggles and difficult times. I mean, we didn't talk about your mental health. We stuck to the traumatic brain injury part, but all the mental health components that come from all that you have to overcome, not just the neurological, the actual move. I don't know what it's called because I don't work in occupational or physical therapy, but you got to learn to walk and talk again, but then it's everything that comes with it.
I mean, the mental health was certainly put on a pedestal when this happened. I finally realized that there is more than just a physical health, and it's such a shame that there is stigma attached because you hear it all the time. You go to the dentist a few times a year, you break your wrist, you go to the doctor, you take some time off, whatever. Why can't you take a week or two to get your mind right? That may be preventing a lifelong disparity if you take the time to preventative action with it now. Something I'm very passionate about is finding what works for you. I learned with a traumatic brain injury, there is no one size fits all. Every brain is different. My memory could have came back in a week. It may never fully come back at all. And I told you I didn't really notice much for years later. Some things that really work for me are fitness. Fitness I'm very religious with. Every morning I'm in the gym between 3 and 5 every single morning. It starts my day and it's the endorphins running. I'm thinking clearly. If I go a day without fitness, I am overthinking, I should say, about things I should not be thinking about. And when I say fitness, for everyone watching on, it's not just lifting weights every single day. It's you could take a walk for 15 minutes and then turn back around another 15 minutes. Just anything to get your body moving around, getting your brain flowing. it's crazy. I mean, I couldn't imagine my life without exercise, and I have family members who don't exercise, and I don't understand how people can get through the day without it. But that's why everybody's different, and that's what makes the world so great.
Right. Jeffrey asks a good question. What would you say is your why? He says we all need to find our why.
I think my why is just that I was given a second opportunity in life. I shared that phone call with my mom. That would probably be as well. Just a bunch of things that shouldn't happen to anybody, unfortunately happened to me. And I could either sit and sulk, cry, why me, or turn something horrible into something amazing because I have the amazing opportunity to connect with people like DJ, connect to people like all of you. So grateful enough to listen on today, take the time to end your day with us. And I think, or I hope at least, we're delivering a good episode for you.
Oh, they're enjoying. I'm pretty sure. I think we're talking about what we should be talking about, right? This is your story, and really it's beneficial to someone listening, and it's also helped someone who maybe relate to a family member or someone, if it's something that comes across in their future, you know,
Absolutely.
like just to have just a little bit more of insight and awareness of what it could be like. I know we really didn't get into kind of like what traumatic brain injury, so maybe I should. A little bit of a definition would be it occurs when there's sudden trauma and damage to the brain. So that's really what we're talking, the impact from that car accident. I know I read in some of the statistics that it's predominantly men that are the victims of traumatic brain injuries. The CDC has some statistics. I'm going to share that link. And it's really due to the result of like that sudden, that violent of a hit of an object, and it usually pierces the skull, enters the brain tissue. So that's what we mean by a traumatic brain injuries. Of course, there's levels from mild, moderate to severe, and we could talk about football and concussions and all that, where it's, you know, that's another way of kind of talking and opening those conversations. So I think in that sense, that's a relatable topic for even people that watch sports, right? And have maybe come across that. So, I mean, there's just so many levels.
Scary no matter which way you experience it, whether it's
Yeah.
light or severe. Mine was obviously severe.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary when you're. I'll share some stories, I guess, as previews from this book. If anybody's interested, you'll get it more in detail with this.
Yeah.
You can't separate, it's challenging to separate dreams from reality with a traumatic brain injury. You don't know what's real, what's not. This was an ongoing challenge for me. Probably the scariest part of my stay. I had several horrible hallucinations. Excuse me. One being, I had a huge leg brace, probably the size of 20 pounds. I'm a small guy. I had a broken fib. I have a rod in my leg for the rest of my life. 2 bolts in my knee, 2 bolts in my ankle. Again, from something I didn't do, from someone I never met. This is just something I deal with. I was in the shower because I couldn't shower myself. I'm on a plastic bench. Another man is showering over me. Kind of uncomfortable, but it is what it is. And my mind was playing tricks on me. I was seeing red water down the drains like blood, and I thought I was in Silence of the Lambs, if you've seen that movie. That was kind of a scary, and then I was scared to take a shower really after that.
Right. It's a lot. It really messes with your mind. I was going to share some of those symptoms. So I did say they could be mild, moderate, depending. Okay, so some of them would be headaches, confusion, lightheadedness, dizziness, blurred vision, those tired eyes. Yeah. I've been in I've had a concussion or two. So some of these, the ringing in the ears, the bad taste in your mouth, something I wasn't really familiar with, fatigue, lethargy, sleep patterns, changes in your sleep, of course, behavioral and mood.
The only one I can really remember, I mean, I can remember the first few, but I don't remember really anything. I mean, I remember the hospital, but it was such a blur in the first 2 weeks. I was sleeping more than I was awake, and the constant tricks your brain plays on you. Mm-hmm. And a traumatic brain injury is such a day-to-day, week-to-week, year-to-year thing where some things fall in each category. So I never had a discharge date because of how every day was so new, and it's so frustrating to know when you're never getting out of the hospital. It's depressing knowing that no matter what, I'm waking up in this exact bed again, but you have to find a way to keep going. I mean, there was a point where I got moved into a room with 6 to 8 people because we were very severe and all in the same room. So if one person's not sleeping, you're all not sleeping. One patient's got the bed light on. One patient has the TV on. One patient's talking to the wall, right? One patient's talking to the wall every night. Another patient's peeing or pooping themselves every night. And here I am trying to keep it together. And it's just a nightmare. I was in the hospital. If everybody heard of Gasparilla is Tampa's Mardi Gras. It's the third biggest parade in the country. And it was my senior year of college. And a few days before this all happened, I was sent to the hospital, which is on the water, where you're seeing the pirate ships and the parade go by.
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing all of this just in my hospital bed. Depressed, confused, angry. I mean, everything. And blessings, my mom took the month off work. I was in the hospital for almost a month. Stabbed me because even though I was an adult, you still do need an
5-year-old. You said you had the mindset of a 5-year-old.
You need an adult in the room. I don't remember seeing my dad, my family, friends, my sister because of my brain injury. I don't remember ever seeing them. And so many people came and visited me. Some aunts and uncles I don't remember seeing. Never will. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a part of my story. It's a part of my life.
Right.
It changed my life. It changed my career. And I plan on, once this COVID ends, I mean, right now, for everybody listening on, I'd love to come speak to your company. I want to share my mental health book and speak to companies on mental health. Whether you're a kid or not, you were locked in the house, your way of life was changed. I've got something. I collaborated with 6 other mental health experts around the country, a Dalai Lama speaker, a traumatic brain injury survivor, besides myself,
wow.
gym teacher, an artist, the illustrator who talks about gratitude and practicing creativity. That's what Chris Bridge speaks about. We touch from every angle, activities in every chapter where we can do employees together. And then I can't wait to get into the school districts once the schools open up and be with the kids. The mental health kids book is written, it's edited, but I can't release it because this book really hasn't had the chance to do anything that I wanted it to yet. This book is for anyone who can read. There's a section in the book called the Deeper Dive section that talks about the children in your lives going through the information in that chapter so it can help the kids right now. There's a social distancing section in each chapter to make the information applicable right now. I mean, I worked so hard on this with my team, me and Chris Bridge. She's in Houston, Texas. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Did the whole thing on Zoom over the pandemic.
Wow.
This
Kudos.
This is the 3rd book I wrote over the pandemic. This is the only one that got published, though. There's a story involved for each of them for another day, but I'm very thankful for how this book came out. I've never put anything really into marketing ever, so I can't imagine how well the podcast would be doing or if one of these would be a bestseller if I had the funds for marketing. But I'm a solopreneur, and I don't rush anything. I know my time's coming because hard work, I just don't believe there's a substitute for, and I push myself every day. I can't do it like I did when I was 26, 27. I was running 17, 18-hour days regularly, and now not so much. I run about 3 to 3 or 4 to 4, 6 days a week. This is my latest thing I've done in a long time, but when DJ presents the opportunity, there's no
Thank
question.
you. I appreciate that.
I'm always so thankful for the chance to speak with other people about this topic because there's no reason stigmas need to be on mental health. We all have a brain, so we all have mental health. There's no need to look down on someone for having a little depression or anxiety because if they treat it properly, some people it's Western medicine, some people it's speaking, having a conversation like me. I don't take medicine. I am big into story share. I'm big into experience share. I'm big into fitness. Those are my things. There was a point where after my accident, medication served its purpose. But everyone I see here, trust the process. That's my thing. You have to believe in yourself, and you can't compare what someone else is doing to what you're doing because someone else may have been given a trust fund from their parents to start a business. Someone else may have their father or uncle or mother or aunt as the role they need to connect with in this world to set themselves up. Me, I just believe in, shout out to Tony Alexander. He may be watching. If Patrick Lewis is still here, his friend as well. Your network is your net worth. If you don't network, you're never going to grow. I mentioned strategic surges. You got to tap into social media. You have to tap into your network. You have to go to networking events. and now they're virtual. And we mentioned a lot of them are free. Every day you got to
Absolutely.
introduce yourself to someone. If you're at the grocery store, if that's your bit of networking, go to Starbucks, go to somewhere, put your business card down, and walk away. Something.
Yeah, and you hear that over and over. You hear that over and over from individuals that really are driven and they're successful, and they know that it takes grit.
And you can't, and grit, and you just can't give up. Never give up is my thing. Tell me I can't and I will is my thing. There's nothing wrong with living an average life. It's just not for me. I thought I wanted a 9 to 5. It wasn't for me. And there's no right or wrong career. There's no yes or no. Everybody is very different. Some people want corporate life. Some people don't want a corporate life. I love the flexibility. I like the opportunity where I bust my tail for 16, 17-hour days. And then in June, I get to go spend time with my parents and my sister and get to catch up with some people in my hometown. I have a wedding next month. So all of these things, my particular lifestyle wouldn't coexist with a 9 to 5. It just wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to do this because I'd be in bed. I'd be tired.
Right. Well, you found what works for you, and that's key. That's something we talk about. Find what works for you. Adam agrees with you. That is key. We all have mental health. Very well said. I agree. There was Jen had agreed with something else you said. She's been there, 29 years old, needing my mom to help me shower, go to the bathroom when she was severely disabled. So she relates to that and resonates.
Sharing, yes.
And that's something that a lot of people don't understand unless they've been through it. Having someone else shower them, see them, clothe them, hygiene.
Well, that's another thing you just popped in my brain. The most tedious. So once I was on level 0, once you work your way up to maybe a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, I had to ride an arm bicycle every morning. I wake up, I'm going to ride an arm bicycle. That is the most tedious thing in the world if you've never ridden an arm bicycle. You're literally doing this, and I'm looking over the great, beautiful water at Tampa Bay, seeing all people having fun, whatever. And eventually, not that I didn't need it, but I was past that. That motor skill had come back. So I would try to take sleep or something with my mom. And I always exercised before class growing up. I was always into the gym, but I always loved McDonald's. For whatever reason, I always loved Big Macs. So in the hospital, there was a McDonald's in Tampa General. So my mom would bribe me with a Big Mac when I would try to not want to go. I'm like, oh, I'm not going. She's like, oh, just go and we'll get you McDonald's. And getting out of the hospital room into the wheelchair.
Sure.
That's a field trip,
Absolutely.
I'm like,
those little things that we talk about, enjoy those little moments.
I mean,
celebrate those.
Hey, when you have to humble yourself down to get showered by another grown man and ride an arm bicycle in the morning when you're 21 years old, dependent on everyone and everything, it's the worst feeling. And I just, I don't want to ever be that dependent again. But unfortunately, the circle of life, we just went through it with my grandma. I noticed with dementia. And it's like you start as a 5-year-old wearing a diaper, and then you go back around life, and then you end up wearing diapers again at the end.
Right.
So
yeah, I've heard that cycle of life.
I hope that by the time we get a little older, there's some more science and practices and all that to make us a little smarter, a little longer.
Oh, let's see. We have this nice long comment. Vincent, I think you would like my Don't Start initiative. I started to help kids make better choices on alcohol and drugs. Mental health is the overlaying umbrella to all this, right? Because mental health really is. People don't think, but it's really such key to all of our successes.
Please reach out to me about everything you spoke about. You made a bunch of great comments today, and I'd love to follow up with you.
Absolutely. I think it would be a really on fire podcast on both sides. Its application is universal, uses meditation. We haven't talked about meditation, but again, that goes more into not the medicinal, like Western medicine, but really implementing more of these natural and more Eastern. So I love that. Help kids be aware of choices, consequences, and then, of course, keep living undeterred. Thank you, Jeffrey, for your comment. Thank you for the compliment as well. I'm doing great things. Oh, and Adam says you deserve all the dang Big Macs.
I don't know what it is. I am very health conscious. I'm not someone who won't have a piece of pizza because I don't want a pizza. I just try to – I have a very structured morning, and if anyone's interested in what I do, on my website, I had an article published about my morning routine. I think I've actually done 2 of them where I am very, very structured in my morning, and I think that sets the tone for the whole day. I won't give the whole article away, but some things I do is before bed, I write down the 3 most important tasks I need to do when I wake up. There's no BS when I wake up, no email checking, none of this. When I'm working, I don't waste time. I get this done. Then I fall back to my schedule for the day. And then, everything's only as good as preparation. You have to prep before you go. I wake up, 15-minute alarm. Shout out to Tony Alexander here. No electronics for 15 minutes. You take your eyes off the screens for the first 15 minutes. And it sounds silly, but it really does lengthen your day, and as much as your eyes can tolerate, by not subjecting yourself to that bright light in the morning. I go to the gym after I do one 55-minute alarm, take 5 minutes off the screen, a 50-minute alarm, try to get those done. And then I hit the gym, come back, have breakfast, kick it for that hour and what have you. But again, fitness, not looking at the screens, major, major dividends. It's, if anybody else stares at the computer all day, you'll understand. I'm talking about the intentional screen breaks. As I go throughout the day, I got to take my eyes off the screen as much as I can. It drives me crazy how bad my eyes hurt sometimes.
Well, that's understandable. And with technology and now just when COVID making everything virtual, we're just constantly on screen. It's definitely important. Meditation, I think I brought that comment up again, but it does have so much value. And I wanted to talk. I was going towards that self-care piece, right? Like brain injury, there's really not like tons of medications you can take, right? It's a lot of learning, teaching, practicing, routine.
My thing with meditation was,
I thought you froze on me, Vincent.
I had unrealistic expectations for meditation forever. I thought it was this magic potion where I meditate, boom, I'm fixed. And I learned that it's simply learning how to separate my thoughts from wanting to having those thoughts, I should say. And I've never been a 20-minute meditation guy. When I use that tool, it's more for a few minutes. I'm Italian. I don't have the patience, and I have anxiety I always have struggled with, even though it's night and day from where I was after my accident.
But you talked about physical, so that for you is really like,
the fitness is the whole thing. I have a yoga mat. I'll even hop down halfway through the day and do some core just for 5 minutes or something. I have a mail room on my complex that I'll take, a 10-minute round trip walk just to get off the screen, get a little refreshed. Fitness is very big for me. Some people it's not. Some people hate fitness. There's nothing wrong with that. There's other tools that they probably do. Like in my book, I talk about every tool in the book, from yoga to meditation. Again, the gratitude to talking about your feelings, surrounding yourself with supportive people. But I can even do a little more giveaway for everyone. If they're interested in buying my book, I'm always happy to show you a little bit about it. My chapter, my expertise, I talk about things I consider myself an expert in. And then my 3 takeaways from my chapter are regularly resting both your body and mind, taking mental health breaks each day, and giving yourself 1 mental health day per week. No matter how much we think we have to do and keep rolling, whenever you take a break, we always do come back much more fully charged. My mental health breaks are productive breaks throughout the day. When I wake up, I leave a plate or 2 in the dishes to do the dishes. I'll leave my laundry. I have to load the laundry machine up, or just something always productive, taking my eyes off it, doing some meal prep, doing some cooking, whatever, networking, something just to stay busy and just not get tired, not wear out until I'm ready to take a break.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I think it's important for everyone to know when it's time to take those breaks. And that's something we all talk about. So Jen loves your tips. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. Sounds good. Let's see if I have any other questions for you. How do you handle then pressures and triggers? Like, do you feel that,
I don't really have too many triggers, to be honest.
Good.
Over time, and I feel very blessed that my symptoms have gone down a lot. I mean, when I'm on a long day like this, of course, I'll feel a little different, but I have a very once I went all in entrepreneurship, I should say, when I was 26, I don't go out ever really. I don't really drink, and I think that's a big thing. When I would drink and the next morning I have a lot of anxiety, and it could be direct correlation with the brain with getting hit by a drunk driver. But it's not that I'll never have a drink. Of course, sometimes with a friend or a vacation or a wedding, whatever. Not saying I'll never have a drink, but I'm so dedicated to my dream where I don't give myself the opportunity to slip up and have a hangover. And after my accident, I still went back to college. Once I felt right back, I was still 21, 22, 23, 24, young man, that age. You're out and about with your friends, like you're having drinks, hormones, you're alive. So I still drank it after a little bit, but kind of phased out for me. It just, maybe it will change. That's what's funny about life. You snap in and out of things. You go out of habits that you think go out of, and think, bad habits. You think, and they're like, go out and drinking, and then I'm like, oh, you go out in college drinking a few nights a week. Like, this is just how, and then now it's like, I don't want anything to do with it unless there's a reason to. But triggers for me, I just try not to put myself in situations I know I don't like. You have to do things that make you happy, do things that make your mental health happy. You do something you enjoy, chances are you'll feel better about your outlook on that activity or that day. If I don't want to do something, I just don't do it. I don't feel any peer pressure to ever do anything. I've had great friends in the past, but I'm sure anyone who does their own thing can relate. Once you're not willing to have a nightlife and go out and drink, your phone stops ringing by 99.9% of the people you know. I have very few friends here in Tampa. There are a few who actually reach out to me to say hello, just to get lunch or chill during the day, hang out. Even though as busy as I am, everybody knows if you make time to keep in touch with me, I'm going to keep in touch with you. I keep in touch with more people on a daily basis in New York and around the country, not here in Florida, which is crazy to me. But it's a decision I made to be on a career where I can't have a nice social life. It is disappointing to grow apart from people for no reason as you get older. But everybody has their own things going on as we get older. Time is limited. There's only enough hours in the day, so it's tough to keep in touch with people. But I am just surrounding myself with more people who fit my business, like us, like-minded connections, and that's life. Life goes and changes, and different people walk in and out of your life for various reasons. And like tonight, I just connected with 10, 15, 20 new people who I'm sure I'd have a collaboration or two with some of them in the works. If they're on this platform, chances are they are passionate about mental health, which means they could be a fit for my show when I do pick up recording again in a month or so. But this has been great, DJ. I'm so grateful that you brought me on here. I've had such a great.
And you got merch. It looks like you got merch.
I got some merch. I don't know if it's still up, but I have this hat.
I want merch for me.
You know what? I can't do a give. I've been meaning to do my giveaway on Instagram for so darn long. I've got some merch. I've got a link. On Instagram, I have a link tree, and one of them is the merchandise. I have your link tree. I might have to update it. It was a while ago. I did my merch push when my book came out, but I've got all mental health merch, not just with my beautiful face. No, I'm kidding. And my book cover on it, but I have this cover on some. Could be an ugly face too. Depends what you're thinking, but I'm just playing. I have just mental health shirts without my book on it. I've got everything on there. There is a lot. I try to offer a lot because I'm very grateful for anyone that takes the time to support my journey. Anyone who takes the time to buy one of my books, listens to my podcast, takes the time to listen today. If you're giving me the respect and your time that is so limited, I want to give you everything I got. That's how I am. The best is only yet to come. We have a whole lot in store for this year. I wish I could throw the event that I planned on for all my podcast shows with the 300 guests and the public to just be welcome, but it's not looking like food vendors and things. There's a lot going on still, but stay tuned for that. There's a lot going on.
Oh, okay. So I did share your link tree, and I did share. Hopefully, they can find that information on there. I love link tree.
Audiobooks. That is something on my bucket list. Left for Dead. This one will not probably be an audiobook. One of my only regrets in life is when my grandma's dementia first started getting bad. This came out. She would try to read, but she couldn't. She had a headache after a few sentences, and I always wanted to do the audiobook, but didn't have the budget. But the mental health book is much shorter, and I'm going to do it myself with possibly a few guests on there. You won't know until we find out, and it gets live. Ooh. going to be on the website. It's going to be big. I know some people like audiobooks. Some people don't like reading books, and I get it. So I'm trying to be more conscious of other people. But once you look into my story, you'll see I do have quite a bit going on. That's not an excuse. It's just tough to prioritize certain things when I owe my fan base, my followers a lot. I got a green screen for Christmas time. At that time area, I bought it and still haven't used it yet because I can't justify making new content over the shows and the books and all that. But if you're still tuned in with us, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to reconnect with some of you. I do have a busy few weeks ahead, but we are resuming my recordings, like I said, in about a month. DJ is going to be hopping on my story share show when we start recording that again. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yay, I'm so excited. Can you believe it's almost been an hour already?
Yeah, it's
like that. Boom, boom, boom.
Conversation and great guests. You have such a great support group showing your support.
Yeah, I appreciate, again, the chat is always important. And for me, this is why this community, like creating this environment and this space to have these conversations and really inviting those that want to participate. It's really, open, come on in, listen. Hopefully we can share and we can create something where we feel inspired as well, right? About, feeling each other inspired and moving forward and all those important other things that mental health touches, like our success and our futures, our careers, our families. So I appreciate it. All right. I know you saw in the chat, I did bring up that comment while you were talking. Adam says he picked up your ebook.
Well, thank you. I have, let me know what you think. I put my heart into each book. They're all a little bit of me. And I think you could tell my writings evolve over the time. But it is funny because you know what? You can't please everybody. Some people may not like it. Some people will. And you don't remember all the good reviews. You only remember the bad ones, right? The bad
right.
There's one review on there that says how bad I needed an editor on this. And that is the only book I had an editor from an Ivy League school on it who transformed my book into, I feel, a masterpiece. And it was just so hurtful because I didn't do it my own way, even though I wanted to not have an editor because I wanted to be authentic, my own story. And he helped me organize my thoughts. So it's but I've heard such great things. I'm so grateful that people reach out to me and say my part of my story helped them.
Yeah.
It's just big.
There, James. James still here. So James, connect with Vincent. There we go.
Yeah,
you two connect. Another awesome connection. So, okay. Wow. Again, you're still going. Like the trajectory.
Well, it's not even, it's crazy because of how much work I put in, but I know if anybody wants anything in life, work is obviously just a part of it. And I mean, we haven't even got into like things that I really like. There's Spanish. I've been taking Spanish. The last month or two I've stopped because I've had too much work, but I had Spanish. Like we're working on Spanish collaboration with a little mental health thing. We're trying to do I need to write a little more of my story before we do more in like the movie side, documentary side. But there's been people reached out to me on documentary interest, which is cool. And it's not the first person that's reached out to me on it, but I won't do something like that until I'm ready. I really want to do more for my communities. I want to do more for the mental health communities. I want to do more for anyone who supports me. And I think that we're all built to share our stories, all share our experiences and collaborate with each other. There's plenty of opportunity in the world. There's plenty of money in the world. There's no need to be envious or jealous or not help someone. We help each other grow. We're going to all hit our goals much faster, and we'll be able to come into contact with new people. I always love connecting people with new individuals because it opens new doors and possibilities for them. I mean, my podcast, I went from struggling, getting anxiety, not finding guests to be able to, like I said, fill it months out. So if anyone has any value in any of my guests as well, I'd love to connect you.
Awesome. I guess we got one final question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Poetry. Have you worked with poetry? And this is funny because we've talked about poetry on the show before, and we have like some as a creative outlet. Do you have a creative outlet? We'll give you that. Maybe a creative outlet.
I'd love to connect with you if you want to reach out to me. We could schedule a call and maybe talk more about poetry. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. I have not worked with it. My outlets, I mean,
I
I
just
love
didn't have a creativity in that sense, but that was
creative
nice.
outlet.
What's up, Nick?
I guess nothing right. I guess it really all stems from exercise. Just in the morning, gets my brain
Okay.
going.
That's okay.
I hop around from room to room. I'm not as big of an out of the house guy as most are. I have like right now I'm at one desk with this background, my book. My other side I have the green screen, another desk. I have a desk in my living room. I have a desk. I have a table in my living room also for that. I have a rocking chair outside where I sit and do work. Every half hour, every hour.
All right, there you go. You just rotate around. All right, Nick, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Okay, James asked because he's a poet. So I think, James, you need to get connected to Dorothy and then the other James and then Darren.
Yeah.
They're into the poetry stuff. They're doing a lot of poetry work and collabing in a poetry sense. So,
well, if you have any published poetry, for sure we can get you and provide a unique perspective on writing with authors on YouTube. I definitely, as long as anything's published.
Adam too.
Yeah. Please reach out to me, everyone.
Well, I like a creative group, and we didn't even talk about music. But I know we could just keep going and going and going. But for me, music is something I always found therapeutic and something to really bring life into my life. Right? I just really love to enjoy music. So music for me would be something creatively. I don't play an instrument, but I really like dancing and getting that energy moving. And I know some of the comments were about motion evokes that emotion, and we've talked about that in the past. So thanks, Nick, for stopping by. We're about to close up shop. Music's important. Thank you for the show. I guess we're gonna say our goodbyes. We dropped your links. Everyone knows about your books. We know about your podcast, your amazing story. So thank you, Vincent.
Well, thank you, DJ. I'm so grateful that you asked me to come on this show. I'm grateful you joined me on my shows, and of course, everyone viewing on, listening on. Thank you for your time tonight. I'm so grateful I got the chance to connect with so many great new individuals. I'm excited to see what comes out of that. And DJ, again, thank you so much.
Yes. All right. So we're going to say goodbye. Say bye, everyone. Thank you.